Hello, welcome to Word Module 1. This recording is meant to give you a brief overview of the key things that you're going to encounter in this section of Word, and allow me to show you and explain a few things that will help you get through the assignments maybe a bit more successfully. Let's get through some of the key items in Word Module 1. Let's go to the top of the page first here in Word, and I'm sure most of you know these are the tabs that Word provides that are the most used formatting and editing pieces and tools that Word provides. And as you click on each of these, just as I am, the ribbon changes to the options and tools that are available for you to begin some editing changes. If we look then in the font gallery, each of these are called galleries, the font gallery, the paragraph gallery. You'll notice a little down arrow on the right side. That will give you some additional menu options, just like I've clicked on mine there. If you want to click in and look at different font styles, different point sizes, or so on and so forth. So that is the top of Word and some of the options that are available there. Let's go to the bottom and look at the status bar. That is this bar down here at the very bottom of your page. You notice I'm hovering my mouse over the left side of the page. This is a page counter and a word counter that is happening live all the time, in addition to the spell checker that's going on. Anytime you see an X on that book there, you'll notice that there's some kind of grammatical or spelling error that is indicated in Word. It is constantly checking those live all the time. On the right side of the status bar, you'll notice the layout options that are available by default in Word. Currently, we are in print layout mode, which is the most common default setting in Word. Occasionally, you'll jump in and see it on read mode as if you're reading a book, or web layout mode as if you were looking at it on the web. There's also the zoom slider here that you may zoom in or zoom out on a document as you see fit in order to help you maybe work more successfully on the screen. The contextual tabs then, things that don't normally appear up here in the tab or the ribbon area, only happen whenever you click on certain things in the document. So for example, I've got the picture of the mums here, and this document very similar to one of the assignments that you will be doing. If I click on it, you'll notice up in the toolbar, up in the ribbon, now a new tab has appeared to format that picture. That goes away in order to not clutter up the ribbon with additional tabs and things that you may not use on a regular basis. Once I click off that picture, then that contextual tab goes away. In addition, there's also some task panes that can appear. So let's say we go to the clipboard. We've got a number of things that maybe we would want to copy and paste to another document. We can open that task pane, that copy search, or maybe a search task pane in order to help us find certain things. Those are helpful tools that you use occasionally whenever copying, pasting, or searching for a number of different items. In addition, I currently have the ruler set for me to view. There's a simple toggle switch when you go up here to the ribbon and into the view ribbon. You can click that off and that will toggle the ruler off. I tend to keep mine on, that way I can see a little bit on where things look, where they're aligned within my document. In addition, if we go to the Home tab and in the Paragraph gallery, there's the formatting marks, show or hide formatting marks. That is the backwards P that you'll see up here indicating a paragraph, and you can click those on and off. I tend again to keep mine on because I like to see where everything is appearing in my document. That records every single keystroke. Now it's not going to print it that way, but it shows you every single keystroke on the screen. We have also the scroll bar on the right side of the screen, and if you were editing a large wide document, you would find a scroll bar will show itself at the bottom of the screen as well. Also, whenever we highlight something, let's say we wanted to go down here and highlight this only $3, you'll see a quick access toolbar, and Word knows that generally when you highlight something you're going to be doing some basic editing, so this quick access toolbar will also occur whenever you highlight something like that. It makes it a little faster than highlighting something and then moving your mouse all the way up here to the ribbon in order to make some changes. Alright, some changes that are very commonly made, of course, is changing font and changing point size. Font is the appearance of the font of the letters, and by default Calibri is the normal font in Word, and by default 11 point is the default point size. So until you change those, generally speaking, Word is going to have it set, unless you've changed it on the back side of Word, it's going to be set to Calibri point size 11 until you change it. In addition, let's say you get into something and making a change. Let's assume for a minute that was at Arial Black. Let's say I want to change it to Calibri, and now I've decided I really don't like that. I can hit this undo button, undo font formatting, up here at the left. There's only a certain number of things, I believe it's 24 keystrokes that you can undo up there in the quick access toolbar, or the short toolbar up at the top. So keep that in mind as you're going back through things, that you do have that undo option, but it's quite limited. We can also do a whole bunch of different things in terms of copying, pasting. You can drag and drop. So we could take, for example, and drag and drop this mum word up to another space on the document here. Maybe we didn't like it there. We could go up and cut it and then go back and replace it to where we had it. That'll appear on that clipboard that I just showed you, and we could put it in there just like it was appearing before. That clipboard will hold about 24 items, and so if you get into the case where you're doing a whole bunch of copying and pasting, that clipboard comes in very, very handy. And finally, for this particular section, again, just a short recording here that I thought might help you get through some of these items on this assignment, is to make sure and go back and review your document all the time. As you notice, I have a spelling error here. I can right-click on that, and Word already is doing some spell checking, and it'll tell me, hey, I've misspelled that, and I can right-click and then fix it right away. Anytime you see that red squiggly line on your document, you've got a spelling error somewhere. In addition, you notice down here I have a blue squiggly line underlining that till. That indicates a grammatical error that Word does not like. It will often, if you go up here and hit review, or hit review, and spelling and grammar check, it will walk you right through the document and then give you some suggestions on how to repair each of those things and what options you may have been trying to type. It will indicate those as it sees fit. So we can just click change there, and it will fix that spelling error for me. And then we'll read this sentence and determine, hey, that till, that's not very good grammar here. So we can either ignore that if we want to leave it that way, or I could go ahead and change that so that it is grammatically correct, and then it'll tell you spelling and grammar check is complete. It will check the entire document. This box here is what we call a readability statistic. So if you really want to know how many words, how many characters, and at what level this particular document reads at, this will tell you that particular information, if it's important that you write at a high level and how many words are in the document. I know this is important occasionally for certain assignments that you may do in a different class, for example, an essay in English class or something like that. So that's going to complete this recording, and I hope that it helps you navigate through some of the things in Word Section 1. You're going to be creating a couple flyers. The first one is step-by-step in the book, and I want to remind you before I sign off here to please follow those red dots that are in your textbook, and as you go through and start on page WD2, you're going to follow each of those red dots through the course and through that assignment. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to format these particular items. Again, I sent out an announcement on Blackboard today, but just remember, I'm not particularly picky on a color or a background or something like that maybe Word asks you to do. You know, maybe it asks you to put a different fill color in there or change the font color in some particular way. And if you like it something different, that's okay. I'm not going to get uptight about that. I do expect that if it asks you to format this header up here, that you actually do format it. If it asks you to put a picture in there and format it a certain way, that you actually do format it. If yours appears slightly different occasionally, to what the assignment, that's okay, because I realize some of you have different versions of Word at home. You maybe are working on a Mac, and some things will appear slightly differently. Speaking of Macs, occasionally some of your things in the ribbon appear in different spaces, so make sure that you look carefully. They're there, you just have to spend a little bit of time looking for them. And then a final reminder is anytime that you see that it says stop, or save. Make sure that you save on a regular basis. I'd hate for you to get most of the way through an assignment and then simply lose it for some unknown reason. So make sure that you save on a regular basis in a space that you feel confident you'll be able to retrieve it. If you're working on computers here on campus, I would highly discourage you from saving anything on any of the machines here. They wipe them regularly, and someone could come along and take your material and turn it in. And lastly, if you look at and click on the File tab up here, this is what we call metadata. As I hover like in the document properties area, I can often tell when the last time someone edited a document because it'll say last modified or when it was created and who the author is and who last modified that particular document. If you're creating a paper in which you want to maintain authorship of the paper, that's where you can edit and change those types of things. So as we finish up here, I'm going to quick save this. So as a reminder before you submit it that it's all ready to go. And as I sign off here, hopefully this has been a helpful recording that will assist you in getting through the assignments in Word Module 1 successfully. And as always, if you have questions or run into troubles, please chime into that discussion board on Word Module 1. It's likely that someone else has the same question that you have. Or stop by my office and see me. We'll be certain to help you out. Good luck as you go through Word Module 1.